I think I may have seen the next Isaiah Thomas, kid named William Gates. Put it in your memory bank, ladies and gentlemen. William Gates.
It was not in my cards for me to play basketball for the rest of my life. Though I wanted it, I really just believe you don't get to be anything else but what you are.
William Gates, born December 28, 1971. As a former basketball player that's played Division I, even professionally, in hindsight, I have to say, the sweetest part of my journey was when basketball didn't feel like a job. When all it took to feel absolute joy and have hours go by was you and your friends getting together for a not-so-quick game of 21 as warm-up to 5-on-5. It mattered who won and who got the best of who, but none involved were being paid, so how much did it really change the bond you experienced out there with others that were as passionate as you about the game? The first time I felt the business of basketball was my first day in college, and ever since then, I understood as well that everyone can't be built for this. As players growing up, only we can understand what it felt like to discover something you feel so passionate about that the thought of you going all the way made you cry tears as you spin the basketball off your fingertips, looking into the ceiling, asking whoever you pray to make that happen. Filled with hope and young energy, you work and work and work some more, because after all, that's what every motivational speaker that's visited with you said, right? Work. A few of them also said this, if I remember correctly: some of you won't make it. Words that scared you into immediately thinking, shit, that won't be me. Well, it's gotta be someone. Today's feature, I feel, can be a perfect example of how you can eat, sleep, think, and dream making it to the NBA. Hell, you can even pray about it, and guess what? William Gates was a co-star for a movie called Hoop Dreams that, like I mentioned in my last feature, is arguably the best basketball documentary of all time. That movie changed countless lives one way or the other, and there's no telling how many of today's basketball superstars it inspired to keep working their way through the maze a basketball journey could be. We spoke about Arthur Agee and how him not growing soon enough, his foundation not strong enough at home and in the classroom, and skills not developing in time caused this growth to be stunted. Well, on the other hand, William Gates' journey couldn't be any more contrast and similar at the same time. What his story is for sure is relatable to so many players that may experience what he had to go through just to stay on the floor. How it felt to have so much talent and have to sit and watch it all go away over things you can't control. The pressure of being black in America, talented, and expected to lead your family out of poverty to a better life. William Gates had a great start to doing that, and then, for these reasons, his growth was stunted, and his dreams of making the NBA were faced with reality. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Let's get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. You can also send a super thanks by clicking the button below. Enjoy the video. William Gates was a 6-foot shooting guard from West Garfield Park growing up in the Cabrini Green housing projects. Like Arthur Agee, Gates also received a partial scholarship to Isaiah Thomas's alma mater, St. Joseph's, which was a wealthy white school in the suburbs that were known for having a great basketball program led by the legendary Gene Pigator, who coached William Gates to a 97-17 record during his 4-year high school career, but all ended in disappointment and tears as Williams' teams always fell short. Gates was heavily recruited as a freshman, even started on the varsity squad. Arthur Agee was too small and underdeveloped to make by the end of the year. Gates grew somewhat faster than the guards his age, even though he's listed shorter than Agee today, and therefore the comparisons and expectations began. He was also still playing freely at the time, as the business of basketball had yet affected him. He was able to pay the other half of his scholarship through contributed funding from a Cabrini Green organization called Cycle, and later Patricia Ware, Encyclopedia Britannica's president. Gates was well-spoken and doing well in school, so made the perfect candidate for the assistants. He played well all through his sophomore year, where he started to be known as one of the best guards in the country. Stunt number 1, knee injuries. William Gates was well on his way had it not been for knee injuries he suffered in high school and later his foot keeping him from an NBA opportunity he'd received from Michael Jordan himself. During a highly anticipated junior year in high school, Gates would sprain his right knee and was pressured to continue playing on it, as all kids were in those days, by coaches, family, and friends that called you soft if you didn't. He played and re-injured it the next day in practice, forcing him to have surgery to repair cartilage and ligament damage, when, as he says, everything was just going great. And he was right. This was the year that could make or break him, with all the honors he received prior and his choice of schools offering him a scholarship. During the year, he also revealed he had his firstborn, a daughter that surprised his coaches and made life a little more serious than it was before. His grades began to plummet during the time away from the team, along with his ACT score needed to accept a college scholarship. He watches his teammates play through the season until his coach gave him the decision to return or not, knowing William would choose basketball over waiting to be fully healed. And just like that, he injured his knee once again in the sectional final, needing surgery once again. When healthy enough, Gates is invited to the Nike All-American camp the summer before his senior year, along with guys like Jawan Howard and Jalen Rose, and played well. Even had a few days where he looked like the guy schools preferred. Then, on the third to last day, he injures his knee and has to watch the rest of the camp from the sideline. It didn't stop Marquette's Kevin O'Neal from offering him a full scholarship, but it did affect the rest of his life as now damaged goods and in a way broke his spirit. A healthy William Gates more than likely plays at least a few seasons in the NBA. In 2001, while Michael Jordan was training for his NBA comeback, he trained with and against Gates, calling him one of the best players he went against and offering him a tryout with the Wizards. And again, he injures his foot before the set date and never made the appointment. Stunt number 2, pressure all around.
All those basketball dreams I had, they gone. All I see, all my dreams is in him now. I want him to make it so bad, I don't know what to do.
I love playing basketball, but I want to do other things with my life too.
They always tell me, well, you should do this and you should do that. It's like everybody I know is my coach.
The second biggest growth stunt to William Gates was at that point we spoke on earlier, where basketball starts to become much more than the beautiful game you once knew it to be. A time where everyone around you seems they could benefit from you making it more than even you can yourself. First off, his coach, who kept sideways pressuring Gates that this was his final few years to go downstate, and that if he doesn't play well or looks injured, all the schools will run away from him, was a lot of pressure for a 15, 16-year-old, and it led to his injury. Of course, it's ultimately Williams' decision, but what is a child that wants to play supposed to say? Next, at home was all sorts of pressure of family wanting to live through him. Gates' older brother Curtis, who died in 2001, murdered over a female by a man who was seeing the same female, was also a basketball player with lots of promise, but had attitude issues and clashed with coaches often. His dreams of making the NBA faded quickly, and so he focused all his energy into making sure William made it, wanting to live his life through William. Even before he died, he told William, who was having a secret comeback workout attempt with the Bulls, that when he got on, he was moving with him and traveling wherever he went. This pressure built up over time, with his mom adding her bit as well, even though subconsciously. Seeing your single mother struggle every day to provide for her kids will make any talented child feel pressure to be the one that changed that. His mother said during the film that brother Curtis never made it, so she was hoping William would finally do it and rescue them from the struggle they call life. With family pressure, injury pressure, coach pressuring you to play on a bad knee, schools hounding you to come their way, all made William feel like he didn't want to run the hamster wheel anymore and that there was more important things in life than sports. I don't think his heart was in it at the point he said that, and it showed when he went to Marquette with all the chance in the world and didn't amount to the player he had the chance to. Every time I watch that movie, I always wish Arthur was given the opportunity William was with the heart Arthur had and William lacked. Stunt number 3, blown opportunity. Along with losing love for the game. As a player who's experienced this exact same thing, with no one in my ear to steer me the right way, I know how it can be to have the opportunity, but not the right mentality at the time to seize it. Also, to lose the initial love for the game you once had with everything going on around you. William played 4 years at Marquette. If that wasn't a great opportunity with everything that happened, I don't know what is. Dwayne Wade came from that school, Jimmy Butler. William Gates, though, with a child already, a bad knee, and all the pressure on his shoulders, didn't step up to the opportunity and didn't work on things like shooting as a 6-foot guard, which he was unbelievably poor at, shooting below 50% for his career from the free throw line and 17% from 3. He couldn't score, pass, rebound, and turned the ball over as much as assisted. After school, like mentioned, he even had a workout with a few NBA teams and didn't do enough to make the roster. Fine with Gates because by that point, basketball had lost its luster in his eyes and became easy to move past. He became a pastor in his local Chicago neighborhood until 2012. All in all, Hoop Dreams was a great but hard movie to watch. Throughout it, you wish Gates didn't decide to return so soon, or maybe his dad stayed around to help him with that decision. Or maybe this or maybe that happened. In the end, there was no changing destiny. It's like that sometimes for these reasons. Salute, much respect to both he and Arthur Agee. Much respect to Hoop Dreams. Thank you guys for watching this small series I put together. I love that movie. I grew up on that movie and these players, and I have nothing but respect for both. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth, and I'm out.
That's why when somebody say, man, when you get to the NBA, don't forget about me and all that stuff, I should say to them, well, if I don't make it, but you don't forget about me.